if doing well in school
What if doing well in school
and
in life
depends on much more than
depends on much more
your ability to learn quickly and easily?
than your ability to learn quickly and easily?
I started studying kids and adults in
I started studying kids and adults
all kinds of super challenging settings.
in all kinds of super challenging settings.
And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why?
Who is successful here and why?
My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy.
My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy.
We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training
We tried to predict which cadets will stay in military training
and which would drop out.
and which will drop out.
We went to the National Spelling Bee
We went to the National Spelling Bee
and tried to predict which children would advance farthest in competition.
will advance furthest in competition.
We partnered with private companies
asking
which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs?
which of the salespeople is going to keep their jobs
And who's going to earn the most money?
and who's going to earn the most money.
In all those very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence.
It wasn't social intelligence.
It wasn't good looks.
It wasn't good looks.
Physical health. And it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future. Day in, day out. Not just for the week. Not just for the month. But for years. And working really hard to make that future a reality. A few years ago, I started studying grit in the Chicago public schools. I asked thousands of high school juniors to take grit questionnaires. And then waited around more than a year to see who would graduate. Turns out that grittier kids were significantly more likely to graduate. Even when I matched them every characteristic I could measure. Things like family income. Standardized achievement test scores. Even how safe kids felt when they were at school.